Hello, this is Dave Sugarbaker, and today is Super Bowl Sunday. This is the 11th day of February 2024. And since it's Super Bowl Sunday, a great spiritual occasion for Americans, I thought I'd like to share a meditative poem in honor of the day. Drop kick me, Jesus, through the goalposts of life. End over end, neither left nor to right, straight through the heart of them righteous uprights. Drop kick me, Jesus, through the goalposts of life. Make me, oh, make me, Lord, more than I am. Make me a piece of your master game plan. Free from the earthly temptations below. This is my favorite line. If I've got the will, Lord, if you've got the toe. Bring on the brothers who've gone on before and all of the sisters who've knocked on your door, all the departed dear loved ones of mine. Stick 'em up front on the offensive line. Oh, drop kick me, Jesus, through the goalposts of life, end over end, neither left nor to right, straight through the heart of them righteous uprights. Drop kick me, Jesus, through the goalposts of life. Well, so much for that. I have a brief thing from Paul writing to the Romans, and he says this: there will be anguish and distress for everyone who does evil, the Jew first and then also the Greek, but glory and honor and peace for everyone who does good, the Jew first and also the Greek. For God shows no partiality. I arrived in Kentucky from Berkeley, California in early October of 1997. Elaine had made the transition to Kentucky months earlier, but I had a wedding scheduled to honor in Berkeley, so I couldn't move until wedding season was over, and wedding season was over essentially October 1st. I had two vehicles to take to Kentucky with me, a Dodge van and a Jeep. The Jeep was heavier than the van, and so I arranged to drive the Jeep and tow the van behind the Jeep. All of my office things were packed in the van on that last day, and I left Berkeley about 6 p.m. to drive over the Sierras in the dark to Reno, my first stop. It was a crazy ride, me learning how to drive the Jeep with the van tied to the back end of it, and a lot of trucks going by. It felt like twice the speed I was going. But I took it slow, and 6 days later, I arrived in Maysville. Our primary reason for moving to Maysville was Elaine's mother, Idra. Idra was exhibiting some signs of dementia and was going to need our presence. In the meantime, however, she was busy going out to dinner with her boyfriend, a retired sheriff of Mason County, Charlie Brote. If they weren't going out to dinner, Charlie and Idra ate with us, so there were lots of dinners in our family room. Charlie was an avid member of the Maysville Lions Club. After some months, he convinced me that I too should become a lion. It was an environment full of cigar smoke and bad fried chicken, but I became a lion. Charlie had talked about the Lions Club radio auction, and as it came to be auction time, I volunteered. The auction in those days originated from the basement of the U.S. Bank building in downtown Maysville. I spent 6 nights copying index cards describing items that might be auctioned the next year if the donors participated in next year's auction. My overwhelming impression of the auction after 6 nights of doing this copying of index cards was, there has to be a better way. I had a background in creating relational databases. The auction was a great candidate, I thought, for a makeover utilizing a computer-driven database. So I saw a challenge and an opportunity. I dove in and I created a database that listed all of the donors and their addresses and phone numbers, etc., all of the items donated and a description of that item and the value of that item, and the winning bidder and the winning amount of their bid for each auctioned item and their contact information, etc. It was a great puzzle, and I thoroughly enjoyed the process of creating a database with all of those moving parts. It took me about 3 years to convince the Lions that there was a better way. They didn't want to give up their handwritten index cards, but on the other hand, they didn't want to do all that work of handwriting 800 item cards. For the last 15 years or so, I've offered my software to run the Lions Club radio auction. I'm not the auction chair. I don't want that job. But I have been busy this last week producing hundreds of letters to vendors who gave to the auction last year, to others who are potential new contributors, to professional people who might give what we call bucks for luck, and solicitors' sheets of information on the vendors that they're going to solicit this year as to what they gave last year. Most of my work is done long before the auction takes place. My main role while the auction is on the air is to be present as a kind of fire extinguisher, a troubleshooter in case there's some unforeseen problem with the software. The Lions are getting spoiled. After the auction goes off the air in the evening, whoever is on the computer simply pushes a button and the computer prints out every sale for the evening. It prints out the total value of the items sold and the total sales for the night. We raise and give away over $40,000 each year. It's really well worth doing. The Lions Club lately is very concerned about my health and well-being. They're afraid I might kick the bucket one day and they'd be left with a computer system that they don't understand. And so I've given several computer-savvy Lions a complete tour of the software. And there are several Lions now who know how it's all supposed to operate. Why would I volunteer all those hours to see that the auction is successful? I enjoy having created the database system and watch it run successfully. That's fun for me. Somebody asked me to list my hobbies one time, and I had to list database creation as a hobby. That's fun for me to do. But there's another layer as well. I get something out of giving. There's a sense in which I do well by doing good. St. Francis says it another way. He says, in giving, we receive. One of the strategies of the Big Joy project that I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, to help participants increase the joy in their lives, one of the suggestions they make is to do well by doing good. That doing good deeds brings a reward to the doer. In fact, what it brings is more joy in life. The Jews call it doing a mitzvah. A mitzvah is a good deed, something we do for another or something we do for the greater good. Paul writes, glory and honor and peace, and I would add joy, for everyone who does good. That's the reward for doing good. Now, God bless you. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. If you find value here, I'd appreciate it if you pass it along. Thank you. See you soon.